Joining me today on the pink sofa, TV royalty, Angela Rippon. It's lovely to have you here.
Well, it's lovely to be here, but I always cringe when people use those terms. I'm sorry, Vanessa. I'm just a broadcaster like you and like thousands of others who do this job.
Except you're just not, though, are you? Because you are the Angela Rippon. It is a big deal. You are a big deal. In your first broadcast, 1966, and people remember you on all the great and most memorable programmes. Obviously, I'm going to say Morecambe and Wise in a minute, but the ones I'm really going to say are not only, first woman reading the news, but also Come Dancing, which then eventually morphed into Strictly, also Top Gear. I mean, you're incredibly versatile.
Well, I always think that I've been sort of really very, very lucky in what I do, and I genuinely am blessed that I get the opportunity to do all sorts of wonderful things. I do say to people, that the people that I meet, the places I go, the things that I do, most people would give their right arms for, and I am very fortunate that I get asked to do them for a job, and it's a job that I absolutely love, and I just am thrilled that I'm 80 now, and the fact that I'm still doing it at 80, I can't believe sometimes, but I do love what I do for a living, and I'm just so grateful that people keep asking me to do things and challenging me. I think that's the great thing I love about it. I'm always being challenged to do something different and something new.
When you said you were 80, there will be that noise. We heard a noise rippling through the studio. It's the noise of jaws dropping all over the country. Because I don't know what people have in their minds for a woman of 80, even a beautiful, well-preserved, fit woman of 80. But I don't think it's you. I don't.
Well, I mean, 80 is what it says on my birth certificate. But up here, I'm still 30, I'm still 40. And I think, that's what perhaps keeps me going, that I actually do love what I do. I am very fit. I like being fit. I was saying to somebody the other day, I'm a really poor patient. I'm glad that I don't get ill very often. And I just like being fit, so I am. And maybe that's what's helped me to go on doing what I do.
And I mean, one of the ways that you keep fit is you continue to go to ballet class.
Yes.
Now, people will think ballet class are for 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, little sweet little girls in leotards and those crossover cardigans and tights. I don't know if they realise that ballet class is for 80-year-old women.
Oh, God. Well, I'm the ambassador for the Royal Academy of Dance's Silver Swans programme, which is for people, not just women, but men as well would come, for people over 55 to go to a ballet class. And I'm, as you know, I'm a huge, huge defender of the idea that dance is actually the best form of exercise you can possibly do. It is the best exercise you can do for the health and the well-being of your mind as well as your body. I was talking with James earlier, who's going to be coming on later.
Joins us in just a minute. Do not miss James. He's coming in. Obviously, they're both Strictly veterans. So am I, but mine wasn't quite as distinguished a sojourn on Strictly as yours. They got me out of the place pretty damn sharpish.
We were saying that the one thing that you get from dance is joy because of all the endorphins that you release. It is a brilliant form of exercise, and certainly ballet is wonderful for you because if you're a little bit unsteady when you're older, if you're a bit unsteady on your feet, half of what you do in a ballet class is done with a bar, so you've got something to hold on to. So that gives you... you hold on to it. So, if you're doing stuff with your legs on one leg or whatever, it's great.
Well, I think we ought to just show people, because nobody's ever forgotten it if they watched it at the time, this moment when we not only discovered that Angela Rippon could dance, but we discovered that Angela Rippon had legs. I don't think we'd realised that till now.
A report on the economy has just come through from number 11 Downing Street. The Chancellor's statement reads as follows. There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance.
Let's face the music and dance!
Crazy.
It's pretty much impossible now, isn't it, to describe the shock, the joy, the water cooler moment, although we didn't call it that then, of that moment of you on television. It was absolutely astounding. No one could talk of anything else for what felt like years afterwards. And it is true, I'm not exaggerating, am I? You must know that.
No, you're not. But you say nobody knew I had legs. I mean, only nationally did they not. Down in the regions where I'd been working for a number of years on television, on ITV as well as BBC, I'd done all sorts of stuff. So, but I do remember that the year before I did that, I was, in those days, they used to do the Royal Variety Performance live. And I think it it might have been Bob Monkhouse, I think, who was presenting the programme from the Palladium during the show. And in the interval, they had to come back to Television Centre for a news summary. And he said, you know, those of us in the theatre are going to go and have a glass of champagne now, but those of you at home, we're going to the studio for Angela Rippon to give you a summary of the news. And he sort of walked off and came back a bit and said, she hasn't got any legs, you know. They wheel her around on casters. And I don't know if that was in, I don't think it was in Ernie Maxim's mind, he was the producer for Eric and Ern, when they asked me to do it, because originally they said, can you sing? And I said, no chance. But I can dance a bit, and that was how that happened.
And did you have to think, but I'm a serious news reader, will it detract from my extreme gravitas if I do this?
No,
did you have to ask bosses for permission?
Oh, I had to ask for permission, obviously. I had to go to the editor of Television News, and I think he was probably a huge fan of Morecambe and Wise. So when I said, I quoted what Ernie Maxim had said to me, the boys want me in their Christmas show. He said, yes, of course you can do it. And I don't think either of us thought about what I was actually going to do until I got in the studio and said, well, no, I can't sing, but I can dance a bit. And Ernie Maxim was a choreographer as well as a producer. Yeah. And he'd been a dancer. So he choreographed the whole piece. And but no, it didn't occur to me because I'd been doing so much stuff when I was working in the regions. You know, I mean, they still do it now in the regions. Television presenters do all sorts of fun things. And every year we had a pantomime. So I would do a pantomime every year. And it didn't occur to me that people would assume that as a newsreader, there wasn't another side to my character.
Also incredibly straight-laced, very, very serious.
It wasn't all that.
No, and suddenly there you were, showbiz, va-va-voom, the most incredible legs. And in fact, when I said Angela Rippon's joining me as a guest on the show, people said, will she do the splits? I said, we'll probably have trouble stopping her. I don't know.